Exhale, release. And then settle your arms onto your legs, palms facing down or up. Continue with your breath. And try and find a posture where you're stable, but also relaxed. See if you can bring your breath into your low belly, middle belly, and then up into your chest. Lengthening your torso. And then exhale, let your shoulder blades melt down your back. So stable and also soft. And then send relaxation to each part of your body. So starting with your head, neck, throat, soften and lengthen. And then moving down into your shoulders, elbows, hands and fingers. Lengthen and soften. And let this practice be one of just noticing the release rather than forcing a stretch. And move into your torso, low belly, middle belly, chest. Lengthen and soften. Focus first on the front of your torso. Now move into the back of your torso. Just feel everything lengthened and softened from your neck down to your hips. Then move into your hips, your pelvic floor. Lengthen and soften. And then into your glutes and your low back. And then move down into the front of your legs, quads, knees, shins, top of your feet and toes. Lengthen and soften. And then the backs of your legs, hamstrings, back of your knees, calves, heels, bottom of your feet. Lengthen and soften. Just feel the whole lower half of your body from your neck down completely relaxed. Surrendering to this space and time of self-care. And then move into the back of your head. Right ear, left ear. front of your face, forehead, right eye, left eye, right nostril, left nostril, right cheek, left cheek, tongue, mouth, and jaw. Just feel like you're stable, but also just kind of floating in the air. With nowhere to go and nothing to do. Nice. And then from this space, just drop your chin towards your chest. Lift your chin, chin to your chest, and lift. And then drop your chin, bring your right ear towards your right shoulder, and back to center. Right ear towards right shoulder. And then just pause in this space, being quiet in your mind and your body. Good, and then drop your chin, bring your left ear towards your left shoulder, and back to center. Left ear towards left shoulder, and just hang out, relax. Feel that lengthening and release in the right side of your neck. Nice, come back to center. Good. And then from here, let's make our way into child's pose. Maybe using a block, maybe not. So you can bring your knees together, you can have your knees apart. Let your tush come back and down. And if you want it to be more relaxing, you can bend your elbows or even take your hands behind you, which is the most relaxing. So send your hands towards your feet. I'm going to put a block underneath and turn my head to the right. You can keep your gaze straight. You can turn your head to the right. Play around with different hand positions and then just settle into the one that you like. Just slowly feel a release in your low back. Maybe bring your forehead towards the floor or on the block, or all the way onto the mat. And then if you feel a little bit more open, you can walk your hands a little farther forward or a little farther back, or stay right where you are. And then if you turned your head to one side, turn your head the other way to even out. If your legs are uncomfortable, try bringing them closer together or farther apart, or move into puppy pose with your tush up higher. So just see what feels good in your body. So for me, child's pose is making my knee crabby. So I'm gonna move into puppy pose. So just meet me there when you're ready. So the difference between puppy pose and child's pose is your butt now slides up. Nice. And then bring your hands together in prayer. Tuck your toes under and pull your hands towards the top of your head, stretching your triceps. Good. So you can do this in puppy pose. You can do this more in child's pose. For me, it feels better in puppy pose. You can put 2 pillows or 2 blocks underneath your elbows to intensify the stretch. Just listen to your body. See if it melts a little bit deeper in the stillness. And then try to focus on your breath coming in and lengthening. Your breath coming out and softening. Nice. And then from here, let's come up onto all fours. You may or may not want to use a block or a pillow. Reach that left arm up and then thread it underneath. Maybe you take your left ear on a block or a pillow. Maybe it goes to the floor. Take your right hand on top of your left and press it away. So try this straight, Naomi. This is different than what you normally do. So take your hands, yes, straight. Just try it, see if you like it. So kind of pushing your arms away, lengthening into that left shoulder, and then pull your right hip back so it's in line with your left. Good, and just breathe. And then you can stay here with your hands. You can take your right hand and press it into the mat like you're in chaturanga with that right hand. You can take that right hand behind you into more of a bind. See what feels good in your body. And then really pull that right hip back. Let everything go. And anything that doesn't feel good, come out of that. And then let's make our way onto all fours. We'll do a little cat-cow. So gripping the mat with your hands, lift your chest. Good, and then pull your belly in, drop the top of your head towards the floor. Good, inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, press, drop the top of your head towards the floor. Nice, and then I'm gonna turn so you can see me. Reach that right arm up and then thread it through.
so that your right ear's on the ground, and then take your left hand into your right, pull your arms together away from you. Really lengthening that right arm. Nice. Nice, Deb. And then check in with your hip. So my left hip needs to pull back and down so that it's even with my right. Nice. Good. And then either stay here with your arms, that's fine, or take that left hand above your right arm, deep in the twist, or take that left arm behind you, get more of a bind in that left shoulder, see what feels good in your body, and then pull those hips back. So I'm doing more of the twist, that feels better for me. Nice, and then come back to center. Good. And then let's come back to either puppy pose or child's pose. We're gonna do a lateral movement. So stay here for a moment. Let's tent your fingers, get a deeper stretch in your armpits. You can put your hands on pillows or blocks, or just lift onto your fingertips like spiders. Feel that deep stretch in your armpits. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Nice, and then flatten your hands, walk your hands over to the left. Right thumb on top of left thumb, pressing into your hands. Pulling your chest towards the floor and lifting your armpits. Feel that nice stretch down the right side of your obliques. Good, that right armpit. Nice, and then walk your hands through center. Come over to the right side, left thumb on top of right. Press in your hands, lift your armpits, and get a nice stretch down the left side, your left obliques, your left armpit, your left arm. Let it all go. Notice your body. Release with your breath. Nice. And then inhale, come on up. Tuck your toes under to stretch your feet and just come up and down. You just stretch those toes. Nice. Good job. And then from here, let's roll your shoulders in, back, and down. In, back, and down. Fingertips facing the ground, and just push your hips forward, open up your shoulders. Lift your heart and breathe.
You can keep your hands there. You can slide your hands down onto your thighs. Nice. And then exhale, come on down. I'm going to use my blocks. Step my right foot forward and do those nice lunges. So bring your blocks a little bit forward and do a nice stretch in that left hip flexor. You can stay here and pulse. You can come forward and back. We're going to do the hamstrings, so I'm going to hang out here for a moment. Do what feels good to you. And then move into the hamstrings. Just slide the blocks back and just hang out. Let that hamstring melt. Nice. And then come forward and back one more time. Nice. Tuck that back toe under. Or bend that back leg. Or reach back and grab your foot. Any of those three options are fine. Nice. And then exhale, release. Good. Let's switch sides. So bring your left foot forward. Let's start with lunge and hamstrings. So just get a little movement. Then we'll hang more in the hip flexor and then more in the hamstring stretch, or whatever works better for you. Use your breath. Good, and then just come forward. Hang out in the lunge, opening the front of that hip if it feels okay. You can turn that mat over. You can put a blanket under your knee if you need to. Good, and then hamstring stretch. So hang out. You can pull your right knee towards your left heel or just hang out. I'm gonna bring my blocks closer in so it doesn't hurt my low back. And just let my left hip fall back. Nice. So Margaret, lift your head a little bit so you don't put extra weight in your neck. Yes. Good, and then come forward. Tuck that back toe under, that's an option. Bend and straighten, that's an option. Grabbing your back foot, that's an option. Nice. Or just do one of the things we were just doing, all good. Nice. And then from here, let's come back onto our toes. Bring your blocks right behind you. Good. Roll your shoulders in, back, and down. In, back, and down. And then either hands on your low back or hands on the blocks, sending your chest forward. Nice. Deborah Rauscher, is that good for you? That looks good. That looks good on you. Nice, nice, good job. Nice. Nice, Nay. Nice, Margaret. Good job. All right, nice. Okay, from here, I would like to, I wanna do 90-90, and if that's too much for you, then just go on your back and do ankle to knee. So if that's better, Margaret, ankle to knee. So I'm gonna go right and just pulse. So just little movements. And then I'm gonna take my block underneath my head I'm gonna start the highest height and bring it underneath my forehead. So just breathe into releasing and letting go. So stay here for about 30 seconds, and then if you feel more open, you can move into regular pigeon pose, bringing your ankle in, your left leg down, or stay in this 90-90. And if you're using the block, you can change the angle. So maybe you're a little bit more open now, so you can tilt the block at an angle so that it works with the height of your body. And now I'm gonna take my front foot straight across because that feels better on my knee, and go a little bit lower. So I'm gonna take the block now to the medium height. Okay, that was too low, so I'm gonna go back to the angle, something in between the highest height and the medium height. And just feel your outer hip slowly release. Nice. And then inhale, come on up. Let's windshield wiper our legs a little bit. Nice, and then go the other way. Now, if one side's different than the other and this is too much for you, go onto your back and do ankle to knee. Otherwise, I'm gonna pulse a little bit and then rest my forehead on the block. So we're gonna do this in levels, right? So I like to start at the easiest level so that my body knows I'm not gonna crank it. Nice. Nice. So just stay in this first level for like 30 seconds before you go to the next level. Nice, and then you can move into regular pigeon, bringing your heel towards your groin and your right leg back. See what height you want to put the block. Yeah. So Deb, bring your front knee more to the right. Oh, it's across. Okay, yes, yes. If that's okay on your knee. If not, go back to what you were doing. Good, Margaret. If anything's uncomfortable, totally come on out. Otherwise, use your breath. Send loving kindness to your outer hip. Nice. And then inhale, come on up. Good. Windshield wiper your legs. Nice. And then let's take our legs wide-ish, whatever that means. So it could be like this. I'm going to encourage you to sit on, not you, Naomi, but everyone else to sit on the edge of a blanket, but you can if you want to. I want your hips to roll forward, and then I'm going to grab my other block. Good. Now, Margaret, I might have you do your feet like this. Deb Rauscher, you might want to have your feet like this. So find the position that feels good to you. Let your hips rock forward. And then just come forward with your hands. So maybe you're upright. So find the foot position that feels good for you. Activate your legs. So you're pressing into your heels and releasing. Press. Press. Good. And then just see if you can inhale, lengthen your torso. Exhale, release. So I did this pose before I taught you guys. And so when I did it before, I had to have my feet together in butterfly. Now my legs feel a little better, so I can have a straddle. So do what feels good to you. And then maybe, you're sitting on a blanket and you have 2 blocks or 2 pillows here. Maybe your head's just hanging out. Maybe you're collapsing your blocks. I gotta make you smile, Margaret. Perfect. And again, just inhale, and then send loving kindness to your inner groin, creating space, creating release. If you release a little further, you can go a little deeper, you can stay where you are, you can back off. Good, and then inhale, come on up. Nice. Okay, and then from here, I'm gonna give 2 options. So one is the nay preference, which may or may not be my preference. So you're either gonna go on your belly or you're gonna go on your back. with the kind of the same goal in mind. So try both, because that's what we're doing. This is a practice, right? So either come onto your belly and bring that right knee forward. And that actually feels pretty good if you do one leg at a time. Or it can come onto your back and bring one leg like into laying down tree pose, and you can put a block underneath your knee. So try both and see what feels good to you. Come back to your breath, put your arms in a position that feels good for you. Mine are in like a scarecrow with my fingers interlaced. Nice. And then slowly straighten the right leg or whatever leg you bent and bend the left leg. So either laying on your belly or laying on your back. And then I have a block underneath my knee. That feels really good to me. And then again, rather than forcing a stretch, just feel the release in your inner hip, in your inner thigh. Good, and now we're gonna do both legs at once, so same options. You can be on your belly and bring your knees into frog pose, which is Naomi's pose, or slide both your feet together and the blocks underneath your knees at whatever height feels good to you in supine. This is a restorative pose. So letting your hips flop out to the side. Nice. Nice, just take your time, Nay. And then again, whatever position feels good in your hands. Feel your whole body breathing in. And your whole body breathing out. And if you feel some kind of release, you can deepen the stretch by taking your knees farther apart or lowering the block, or stay right where you are and don't go to the pain point. Just the release point. Nice, and then one more round of breath here. If you're on your back, bring your feet together, hug your knees into your chest. Naomi, meet us here. And then have the blocks or the pillows handy. We're gonna do a nice twist. And maybe now grab your strap. Okay. So first take your right knee on top of your left and then hug your knees in your chest. I like just taking the strap across my shin so I can relax my shoulders. And just pull your shins towards your chest. Feel your whole body breathing in. And your whole body breathing out. Nice, and then release your left foot to the mat. And then two choices, either keeping that right leg on top of the left, twisting to the left, and you can put your shin on the block. Or if that's too much for you, just take your knees together and twist to the left and put your shin on the block, release your hands out to the side. And then one more choice, if none of that is good, try putting the pillow or the block between your legs. Feel the release little by little. Nice, and then remove the block if you're using it, come back to center. Do a happy baby, grabbing behind your knees, grabbing your ankles, grabbing your feet, maybe rocking from side to side. Nice. Feet to the mat, take your left knee on top of your right, hug it in, and maybe use the strap so you can relax your shoulders and just pull your thighs towards your chest. If the strap is too loose, you can wrap the strap around your hands and make the strap shorter. If it's too tight, you can hold a longer grip, let your knees fall away. Nice, then release the strap, let your right foot come to the mat. And then you're either gonna keep your legs crossed and twist over to the left. You can pop the block underneath your knee or a pillow underneath your knee. Or unhook your legs, twist over, to the right. Or I'm gonna put the block between my legs and make a 90-90 angle. That feels the best to me. Just little by little, letting your body release. Don't push anything that's causing strain. Nice, and then slowly come back to center, hug your knees in your chest. And then I'm gonna say, take the strap, you can have it just, you just take the strap around your balls of your feet and hold it in, or you can make a loop with your strap, but don't worry about it. And then take the strap behind your head and just make a little kind of a hammock. Don't mess with your neck if that stresses you out. You can also take the strap behind your shoulders, but that's gonna be deeper. So if you do that, I'd have one leg up and the other leg down. I think I'm just gonna hold the strap. Let my legs come closer to me, one vertebrae at a time, one breath at a time. none of this is working, you can do legs up the wall and totally relax that way. Or take your heels on a chair. But either way, release and relax the back of your hamstrings. Make sure there's no tension in your neck, head, or shoulders. This will be our last pose before Shavasana. Nice, and then you can stay here, you can do legs up the wall, or take your feet as wide as the mat, let your knees come in. Take your arms in a position that feel good to you. And then slide your right leg straight, your left leg straight. Come back to visualizing your whole body melting into the mat, one vertebrae at a time. Release the back of your right heel, your left heel. Back of your right calf, left calf. Back of your right hamstring, left hamstring. Back of your right glute, left glute. And just feel your whole waist down melting into the mat. Then go into your low back, middle back, and upper back. Down your right shoulder, arm, back of your hand. Left shoulder, arm, back of your hand. Feel everything released and relaxed from your neck down. Then release the back of your neck, the back of your head, your right ear, your left ear, top of your head, forehead, eyes, nose, jaw, and mouth. And come back to this space of inhaling, feeling stable and lengthened, and exhaling, feeling soft and relaxed. Whole body breathing in, whole body breathing out. Whole body breathing in, whole body breathing out. Taking one more round of breath in this space. And as you exhale, gently roll to one side, hugging your knees to your chest. Sealing in this idea of being stable, but soft. And then gently making your way on up to a comfortable seated position. Bringing your hands to your heart.